Sumapit na po ang alas 4, ibig sabihin basketball na muna tayo. Welcome back to the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. We are coming to you live from neutral grounds today here at the Brenzigiao Convention Center in San Fernando City in Pampanga to bring you another triple header this Saturday. And for our games today, we have Caloocan and Muntinlupa gunning it out in our first match. And then later on, we have the Quezon Huskers facing the Marikina Shoemasters. And in our last game, we have the Abra Weavers going up against the Bataan Risers. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Javi Palanya alongside Coach Mike Perez. Coach Mike, Caloocan, they're already in the playoffs. Muntinlupa, wala na to sa race sa Southern Division. Talk about how their season has gone so far, talking about these Cagers being their last game today.
Well, considering the kind of talent that they have, I feel they overachieved. There are certain games that they're really close losses. But Pangasinan, Valenzuela, Manila, those were top teams that they went up against. But it really boils down, I guess, to guys having invested in new talent. No, nagbago ang landscape ng mga players natin sa MPBL, and that really surprised the team of Muntinlupa. And you know, they're hoping that next season they'll be more ready and more prepared, especially as the young guns and the system has been laid out this season.
Well, there have been a lot of new faces na umusbong gaya nga ng sinabi mo, Coach Mike, para dito sa Muntinlupa Cagers. Let's bring in the third member of our broadcast panel, Ms. Gianna Lianes. Gianna, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Javi and Coach Mike. We are getting closer to the playoffs, pero alam natin na all of the teams, whether or not they're going through to the next round, want to make sure that they close off the eliminations with a bang. Gaya nga ng Muntinlupa Cagers. Like you guys said, when I actually spoke to Coach Mixon, very reflective siya tungkol sa mga natutunan niya, especially during their last few games. He shares that he is very proud, especially of his collegiate players dahil nabigyan nila ng halaga ang maturity sa season na ito. In his words, this season was all about rebuilding Muntinlupa, but next season they are ready to compete. How they're going to prepare during the off-season and more information about their opponents as well in Caloocan is what I will be talking to you guys about during my reports. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Gianna. We'll be looking forward to those reports later on as the game progresses. Now let's take a look at the team standings, beginning with the Northern Division where Caloocan is placed at number 6 currently.
Yeah, and very important na manalo itong Caloocan against their three remaining games because it gives them a shot at number 4, and Manila is not yet pretty much locked in that. It's samantalang yung 1, 2, and 3 natin, very solid na yan. Sa baba, yung 5 all the way to hanggang 10, pinaglalabanan pa na, lalo na yung battle for the last slot between Rizal, QC, and Valenzuela.
Well, we knew from the start that the Northern Division would actually be more masikip, no, dito sa ating season. And in the Southern Division, Quezon continues to stay on top. Muntinlupa already out of the playoff race at number 11.
Yeah, and Quezon continues to be at number 1. Samantalang yung 2, 3, and 4, medyo may konting labanan pa. It matters really how Zamboanga is going to perform against Manila because a loss could possibly push even Batangas to number 2.
It's going to get even more exciting as we run down the final weeks of our regular season dito sa MPBL. Now let's talk about the previous games of both squads, beginning with the Muntinlupa Cagers. They have been on a 7-game losing streak, including this last loss that they had against the Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters. This was a game that they had a strong start in with Batangas City missing the services of Jong Baloria and Jexter Rapinan.
Yeah, and you know, Muntinlupa had a chance to really pull up an upset, taking down one of the top teams in the South, but they really just couldn't sustain that very strong start. They saw their lead vanish in the second half, but the good thing was McCoy Marcos scored 12 points and Warlo Batak added 11 points for the team, and it really was about the paint deficit and the bench support where the factors really leading to that loss for Muntinlupa.
Well, it's going to be a huge challenge for them again today to try and defend the shaded area against the Caloocan team that is loaded in the front court. Now to talk about the Batang Kankalu, in their last game they were able to get a big victory against the Bulacan Cuyas in dominating fashion, 91-71.
Yeah, never look back after that dominant lead. And Joshua Flores had 14, Rail had 10, and while there were 15 other players in the lineup that scored, and at least 10 of them scored at least 5 points. As usual, it's the big stats really dominated by Caloocan, resulting in efficient field goal shooting, 44% field goal shootings, and a double-digit advantage on rebounds, points in the paints, and a plus 11 when it comes to second chance points.
Josh Flores led the Batang Kankalu with 14 points, perhaps one of his best games of the season, and what a time to come para sa Caloocan, especially heading into the postseason. They need all hands on deck to be able to climb a very steep Northern Division. Let's get the show on the road. Let's go to Miguel Pere for the start of this game.
Magandang hapon mga kaliga and welcome to the first game of our triple header here at the Brasilia Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga. It's Muntinlupa versus Caloocan. Here are the starters. Beginning with the Muntinlupa Kazers, Elberg Paramount. Starting at guard, number 0, Dave Moralde. Also at guard, number 7, Warlo Batak. Center number 25, Ryan Arenal. Forward number 29, Jacob Galicia. And the other forward, number 6, McCoy Marcos. The Muntinlupa Kagers Elberg Paramount will be led by the team manager Vince Harder, assisted by Jerry Andalion. Team owners are Kaiser Galvez, Grace Galvez, attorney Jem C, and Misaya Saicon. Now the starting five for Caloocan, Batang Kankalu. One guard, number 4, Irvin Palencia. Two guard, number 7, Jeramer Cabanag. Center, number 27, Gabby Espinas. Forward, number 12, Josh Flores. And the other forward, number 5, Ronnie Matias. Their head coach is Toto Trujillo, assisted by Peter Santamaria. Team manager is Mac Robert Tichandu. Team governor is Jeremy Tin. Team owner.
Our starting five of this game brought to you by SportsMax, powered by Playmax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. We have Dave Moralde and Warlo Batak in the backcourt, joined by Ryan Arenal, McCoy Marcos, and Jacob Galicia, who is facing his former team here in this afternoon's match. They will be going up against Irvin Palencia, Jeramer Cabana, Gabi Espinas, Josh Flores, and Ronnie Matias para sa Caloocan.
Yeah, this is going to be a very important match para dito sa Caloocan. Sure, Muntinlupa wants to end this on a winning note, but you know, Caloocan is out there also to try and grab that fourth spot in the north.
Coach Mixon Ramos is not around for the last game of the Cagers. It's Vincent Harder, their team manager, who will be acting as the head coach for their last game of the season. And of course, you all know that Coach Toto Trujillo has now taken over the reins para sa Caloocan Batang Kankalu. Espinas, double, triple team inside, still able to get the first basket of the game.
Yeah, that's doon talaga magkakaroon ng challenge sa pagdating sa interior defense. I mean, the bigs of Caloocan really pretty much dominant in most of the games that they win, or you know how they perform in there. Doon sila talaga kumukuha ng marami sa kanilang mga atake.
Caloocan has won 4 of their last 5 games, and they're looking to sustain that momentum heading into the postseason. Meanwhile, there's a foul called against the Batang Kankalu. Dave Moralde will take 2 shots at the line. And Moralde has been a constant for the Muntinlupa Cagers ever since the start of the MPBL. In fact, he did have a playing head coach role a few seasons back for these Cagers. Just had a short stop with the Bacoor City Strikers last year, but he has now come back to his original franchise dito sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. Warlo Batak getting the first trade there for the Cagers.
And Warlo Batak's one of those athletic guys para dito sa Muntinlupa that, you know, could be very useful come the next season as they prepare itong Muntinlupa Cagers.
It's going to be very interesting to see how Muntinlupa moves forward next year in terms of their roster, who to retain, who to acquire, and if there is any changes in the coaching.
Well, one thing that's definitely to come would be additional talents para dito sa Muntinlupa Cagers. And we talked to the coaching staff and Coach Vincent, and you know, he mentioned na talagang nagulat sila sa pagbabago ng landscape ng MPBL, lalo na as teams, you know, started getting better, the influx of new players come in. The talent level has really just risen this season in the MPBL, and so that's something that they weren't, you know, prepared for. And so next season, for sure, they'll be getting talents to support these young guns and the systems that they have now for the Cagers.
Flores from the outside. That's off to the left. Espinas grabs the offensive rebound. Matias cuts inside. Easy finger roll for two.
Bigat talaga ng kombinasyon ng Espinas tsaka Matias sa loob. No? I mean, kung trabaho kailangan mong gawin, yun talaga. Lalo na you go up against these guys in the paint.
And it's amazing how guys like Gabby Espinas, who really had a lot of athleticism in their younger years, have been able to evolve and adapt to the game as they grew older and still become more effective on the court aside from the veteran presence they now provide.
Yeah, totoo yan. And I think the key word there would be yung pag-evolve ng talent. As you see Jeremiah trying to knock down a three from the corner. Minsan, you know, as you age, you get to mature. Even the best of them, even Michael Jordan had to change his game just so it fits, you know, his condition at his age.
Moralde will once again troop to the free throw line. There's a foul called against Irvin Palencia. More than 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. The score is 5-4. Moralde averaging only 4.2 points per game this season. He has been more of the veteran leader para dito sa batang Muntinlupa Cagers. Let's now go to Ms. Gianna Lianes for first report.
Pangatlong laro pa lang ito ni Coach Toto bilang head coach ng Caloocan at kwento niya na kinakapapa niya ang abilidad ng kanyang koponan, lalo na dahil ang recent opponents daw nila ay ang mga lighter teams daw. He adds that the biggest difference between him and Caloocan's last coach is how they approach defense, kaya yun ang sentro ng kanilang ensayo, full ball pressure and using their height to their advantage. Discipline and not being complacent no matter the opponent ang gusto daw i-implement ni Coach Toto going into the playoffs. He shares that Gabby Espinas has been his biggest help when it comes to his adjustment in leading the team. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, G. Well, it's pretty difficult to change coaches, especially we're now entering the postseason here in the MPBL. But Coach Toto Duhilio is no stranger to the league.
Yeah, I think that's one thing also that's going well para dito sa Caloocan. Despite that change, I mean, Coach Toto is very much familiar with the team, with the players and the system. So I guess just very little adjustments. And I feel, you know, these next 3 games will be very crucial as they prove themselves worthy of being number 4.
Orlo Batak skies but was ably challenged in the air by Jeremer Cabanag.
Yan ang isa sa mga bagay na you like about Jeremiah. We talk a lot about his, you know, scoring, but defensively, he's out there trying to defend as well. If he's not scoring, then he's defending. That's how valuable he is for this Caloocan team.
And in college, actually, that was his primary role. He was a 3-and-D player for San Beda back in the day.
Yeah, a lot of main players he had to defend against and, you know, wing guys that he went up and made difficult on the offensive side of the floor.
RJ Arenal commits the personal foul on the rebound play. That forces Coach Vincent Harder to now insert Errol Bongay into the game. There's a timeout called on the floor by Coach Toto Duhilio of the Caloocan Batang Kankalu. Magbabalik ang MPBL. Check out our fan of the game brought to you by Jinky Skin. Isa sa mga nagagandahang dilag dito sa Brenzigiao Convention Center to witness our Saturday triple header. Once again, welcome to the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. This is Muntinlupa versus Caloocan, the first game of our Saturday triple header. Palencia free in the corner, overshoots the mark. Batak grabs the rebound. Tries to spin away from the defense. He lost the basketball. Palencia to the corner. Flores finds an open Gabby Espinas inside.
Yeah, and those are really just some of the things that these very young Cagers would have to learn coming into the next season. You know, situations like those, reads in open floor. We do understand experience ang isa sa mga naging challenge para dito sa Cagers throughout this season. And, they're gaining it right now and hopefully ready for next season.
The interior has really been a problem in terms of defending that shaded area para dito sa Muntinlupa Cagers. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this fast break of the game brought to you by SportsMax, powered by PlayMax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max for transition defense by Muntinlupa there.
Yep, and when you turn that ball over on a fast break attempt, you got to be able to get back and try to stop transition the other way.
Muntinlupa should know a thing or two about that because that is their game. Caloocan shouldn't be beating them down the floor.
Correct.
They are the taller squad.
Agree. Mas athletic at mas mabilis.
Mas bata.
Mas bata.
Achi Inigo has come on here for Coach Toto Trujillo. Muntinlupa playing a 1-3-1 defense.
Right. And those are one of the things that they actually try to experiment on early this season.
Cabanag almost lost it. Intercepted by his former college teammate, Dave Moralde, who goes all the way for 2 points.
Yeah, and Dave, much like how Gab has been, he's really also evolved his game to more of a defensive stopper and more of the leadership style of guy para dito sa Cagers. And, what more can you ask for from Dave Moralde?
I definitely see the evolution, Coach, kasi dati di naman masa yan eh.
Well, that's another thing. Pero dito sa sitwasyon na to, mukhang wala namang papasahan. Kailangan na talagang tapusin niya.
I'm just joking though. Dave was my former teammate when we were in UP. And he made the transfer from San Beda to the Fighting Maroons program.
One of the coolest guys yan sa Muntinlupa.
One of the coolest guys ever.
Correct.
Cabanag, 2 for 2 from the line, 11.2 points per game this season. He leads the Batang Kankalu in terms of scoring. There was actually a time that he was the only double-digit scorer for the Batang Kankalu at some point of the season.
That's right. And, for the most part, he's really getting it from the three-pointers and the free throws. He's a 33% three-point shooter and an 80% free throw guy. If he's not shooting it from three, he's driving inside. So he gets fouled and he's sent to the line.
12-8 is the count. Approaching the halfway point of the first quarter. Matias sees Inigo wide open for the three-point shot. Good line, just too strong. Cabanag ends up with it. Launches from three, no good. Batak misses the defensive rebound. Sanga kicks it out to Inigo. Second try, still no good. Cabanag, another offensive rebound para sa Batang Kankalu. They have really been dominating that offensive glass here in the first quarter.
And even the guards, such as Jeremy, able to corral that offensive board. It's really because of the moving pieces inside defensively. And your athleticism is going to be key when you try and secure the rebounds, let alone box out, kung hindi ka nag-box out.
Lester Tamayo and Joshua Ramirez have now checked in for the Muntinlupa Cagers. Cabanag sinks his third straight free throw.
And he normally averages, don't see Jeremy, about 20 minutes per game. And like what you said, nagkaroon ng time na siya talaga double digits leading in production para dito sa Caloocan.
A little backcourt pressure being applied here by the Batang Kankalu, but Muntinlupa gets it safely across. Moralde will set this one up. Ramirez pops out on the right. Shot clock winding down. Marcos, does he know it? Ramirez does. Ramirez hoists and misses.
Those are situations where you really miss three-point shooters and big men inside. Josh Giab was one of those guys that actually did that for them early in the season.
Inigo cuts through the middle. That has been available for a lot of times here in the first quarter for the Batang Kankalu.
A little bit of confusion pagdating sa scramble defense, especially as that offensive rebound gets secured. Guys missing out on their coverages, speaking of the Cagers.
And it's quite difficult for Muntinlupa to be able to stop those kinds of attacks if they do not mark the cutters. Lalo't lalo na sobrang veterano na tong Caloocan.
That is right.
And one small mistake, they will be able to expose that.
And again, just like what you said, yan yung mga, I guess, experience na natutunan nito nila Jasper Cuevas, Alfred Flores, and Makoy Marcos. These guys really coming out of collegiate basketball and didn't have that experience playing up against these bigger guys in the MPBL. So, ang laki ng natutunan nila this season, speaking of the Cages.
Cervantes trying to work against the defense of the smaller Kevin Buenaflor. Tamayo picks it up. He has Ramirez on the right. Lester. Sidestep finish, no good. But Cuevas is there to clean up the mess.
Sometimes it boils down to effort. May deficit ka sa talent, pero kung hindi ka naubusan ng effort, you're not giving up, you're gonna be rewarded eventually.
Sanga to take the lead back. Another offensive rebound for Caloocan. Inigo, 0 out of 3 from downtown here in the first quarter.
That's the 9th missed three-pointer so far para dito sa Caloocan. Nobody's connected yet from there.
Tamayo drives, kicks it out. Cuevas, the jumper that rattles home para kay Jasper Cuevas.
There was a point in time that Jasper Cuevas was really the primary point guard until the entry of Alfred Flores. And he's really grown into that maturity of being the lead guy on that position to these very young Cagers. Look at him right now. He's talking to Kevin Buenaflor. And, just goes to show na kahit na last game na natin to, laban pa rin tayo.
That's 4 straight points para kay Jasper Cuevas, including that jumper from the baseline off the pass by Lester Tamayo. Ronnie Matias at the line for 2, sinking his first free throw. Despite being beat on the glass, Muntinlupa is leading this game by 3.
Yeah, but the thing that got taken away early in this game for Caloocan was the three-point shooting.
Well, that 1-3-1 zone has really been daring the Batang Kankalu to shoot from the outside. And I'm amazed with Muntinlupa that they actually resorted to that kind of ploy, considering how many shooters these Batang Kankalu have on the roster.
That's right, and daring them to try and hoist it from the outside. And so far, that ploy has worked. And medyo may adjustments rin sa side ng Caloocan. You see them try and go get paint touches some more. So all the more paint touches ang nakukuha mo, all the more that defense shifts and allows you for more gaps to be attacked.
Cabanag once again at the free throw line. Caloocan has gone to the line 8 times already in this game. 2 for 2 once again para kay Jeromer Cabanag.
Actually, better field goal shooting pa nga dito ang Muntinlupa. Shooting 54%, going 6 out of 11. Samantalang Caloocan, 4 out of 15. From there for 26%. A lot of it dahil sa mga mintes na 3-pointers.
But coach, after those missed 3-pointers, the long rebounds nakukuha pa rin ng Caloocan, and that's why they've been able to keep this one close.
Yeah. And kung ikaw ang defender, you have to understand defense always has to stop with a defensive rebound. You got to secure that, can't give it up. And so you have to locate guys that's near the rebounding area, box him out, and go get the ball.
It doesn't really matter if you force the miss if you don't get the rebound.
Sayang lang, diba? You just give them more chances of taking shots.
Both teams already in the penalty, so we're seeing free throws once again for the Batang Kankalu. This time, courtesy of Rael Cervantes, the former FEU Tamarao, averaging 8.1 points per game this season, but only 52.8% from the free throw line.
But Rael is an on and off guy, I guess, para dito sa Caloocan. But the more he gets consistent, lalo na pagdating dito sa playoffs, he's gonna be a huge tandem with either Gabi Spinas, Magat, or even Alari Matias down low.
He is a very multifaceted player. That's why you can rely on him to do different things on the floor. He can shoot from the outside, attack from the post, and also put the ball on the floor.
Matter of fact, 30% three-point shooter yan, si Rael Cervantes, and so he's not afraid to take those shots from there.
Buenaflor gets the handoff from Galicia, overshoots the mark. Tamayo is there, gets the basket plus the foul.
Now, Lester Tamayo is one of, I feel, a really good pickup para dito sa Muntinlupa mid-season in that window. You see him very actively pursuing that offensive rebound right there against a longer Magat. That's not going to be easy, but he still was able to put it up in there and convert.
Tamayo could not complete the three-point play. A minute and 27 remaining here in the first quarter. There's some bodying up inside, down low. Lester Tamayo and Marion Magat getting into it. But the foul will be called against Tamayo.
And Lester's gonna have his hands full, especially kung nakaseal na ganito. You know, he tried to twist Magat, maybe sold it a little bit, no? But, you know, you have to be in the middle, fronting against Marion Magat, and somebody's got to help out down low in case the pass goes over.
Marion Magat, a mid-season transfer from the Abra Weavers, former PBA player himself. 5.3 points per game this year. In a few games for the Caloocan Batang Kangkalu, he shores up an already loaded front line para sa koponan ni Coach Toto Diohilio. Here he is once again, scoring inside.
And there's really not so much you can do if you're Muntinlupa. Caloocan averages roughly about 47 rebounds per game, and a lot of them coming from the offensive glass too.
Batang Kangkalu now in the lead, 19-18. Galicia almost could have been called for a dribbling violation there, and he fumbled the basketball. Foul was called even before the pass to Joshua Ramirez, which puts a smile on the face of Coach Toto Diohilio. Medyo nanghihinayang siya doon because it was already deep into their shot clock.
Well, if it's any consolation, at least you get a 2-for-1 in this situation. If you're Muntinlupa, or rather if you're Caloocan. And Galicia, ito sa mga solid din sa field goals ito 56% field goal shooter, and really scoring has been a vital contribution he's given para dito sa Cagers.
Unfortunately, not too solid from the free throw line in that last trip. Missed both of his charities. Corner pocket shot by Paul Sanga ends up in a miss.
Caloocan normally attempts 25 three-pointers a game, and they make 8 out of it. And so far, they're 0 out of 11 right now, and that's a number you don't want to continue sustaining throughout this game if you're Coach Toto.
Sanga, di pa rin makabutas para sa Caloocan, but another offensive rebound courtesy of Achi Inigo. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Cervantes shovels a pass to Magat. Cervantes gets it back. 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Good
nice
defense.
block by Lester Tamayo. Here comes Muntinlupa. Tamayo goes all the way to the cup. Gets the foul too.
And which really just makes the case. But offensive foul ang tinawag dun kay Lester. But you love that effort though. Getting a block on one end, trying to run the other way. Medyo nahawian lang. Kaya natawagan.
8.7 seconds. Caloocan with a chance to extend this one further. Inigo pulls up near the elbow. That's money down the drain para kay Achi Inigo. Cuevas with a heave. Too strong right there. And that does it for our first 10 minutes of action. Muntinlupa was off to a good start. Even if they've missed a lot of defensive rebounds, they were able to have the lead for majority of the first quarter before Caloocan slowly chipped away and regained composure.
Well, if you look at the field goal shooting, we're going to go back with that. Just 25% para dito sa Caloocan. And why? Because they've missed 12 three-pointers. But if you look at their perimeter field goal shooting, it's really good. 5 over 8, roughly about 62%.
Dave Moralde was one of the guys who affected the good start for the Muntinlupa Cagers. Marion Magat had quality minutes off the bench in the opening frame. 21-18 is the score at the end of one. Our first quarter score is brought to you by GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Rael Cervantes and the Caloocan Batang Caloo hoping to sustain this 3-point lead entering the second quarter here against the Muntinlupa Cagers. Welcome back to the Brenzigiao Convention Center for MPBL Saturday. This is Javi Balanya alongside Coach Mike Perez. Our first quarter field goal story, 7 out of 13 for the Cagers, while Caloocan only shooting 6 out of 21. That's 28% from the field.
Yeah, mababa yung percentage. Pero what you don't like if you're Cagers is that you gave up, what, 6 of 11 offensive rebounds altogether. You can't do that against the Caloocan.
That's 11 out of the 17 rebounds total that they have.
That is right. And so what that tells you is that outside of the three-point shooting, they've been efficient in the perimeter, and they're getting extra shots out of it.
Meanwhile, Jacob Galicia committing a foul off the ball that swings possession back to the Caloocan Batang Caloo.
It's really the interior defense that's just too much to contend para dito sa Cagers. And so boxing out, getting stops, and rotating on a timely basis will help them defensively.
Well, now Justin Alano is in the game to try and help them in that shaded area. Achi Inigo continues to struggle from downtown, missing his 4th three-point attempt of the game. Caloocan gets the steal. Inigo out to another FEU alumnus in Paul Sanga, who finally knocks down a 3 for Caloocan.
After 15 tries, you get it on the 15th. They're 1 out of 15 so far from 3, and they are not going to stop shooting from there. Hindi pumapasok, pero ang ganda ng ball movement. The shots are really unmolested for the most part, yung mga three-pointers.
Oh, it's nice with a veteran team like Caloocan. They know that the low percentage shots, or rather the low percentage from the field, will not continue for the rest of the game if they continue to keep shooting and getting good looks.
Right. Ang importante dyan, ang challenge, you gotta take it.
Magat getting fouled by Alana down low. Makoy Marcos will come in para kay Kevin Buenaflor. This 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Ever so deadly from 3-point country, Mr. Paul Sanga.
Yeah, that's very similar to that one play in that Nueva Ecija game where against Abra, where that corner got hit. I think it was Robles somehow who hit that 3. Sabi ni Coach Louis at dun tiwala na yun, which really is, what happened in that last situation. You're 1 out of 14 from 3. You see your three-pointer guy and Paul Sanga running that lane. You got to give it up for him and trust that he makes that 3.
Ayun na nga, nagtutuloy-tuloy na ng konti dito yung 3-point shooting ng Caloocan. That's the second straight 3 for the Batang Caloo, courtesy of Rael Cervantes. Galicia finds Marcos on the left side, being defended by Jogi Laude. Fall away jumper from the baseline is good para kay Makoy Marcos.
And I love that Makoy Marcos went to his left, changing the pace on that move and catching medyo late yung defense na yun.
Inigo finds a relocating Rael Cervantes inside. And the struggles to defend the interior continue here for Muntinlupa. Alano picking up his second personal foul.
Again, it boils down to rotations. In here, this other 3 coming from Rael. But again, I love this move. Initiated that contact. Finishes off with a fade on the baseline for Makoy Marcos.
Makoy Marcos is a perfect example of how even Muntinlupa did not reach the playoffs, of how they've been able to develop the younger generation.
That is right. And one thing that you've seen from Makoy Marcos is you see that elevation going towards a pro-ready player. He's working on it. He's got good handles, can put the ball on the floor, got good perimeter jumpers. It's really just a matter of working on your threes and some of the defensive coverages. But he's really on the right path. Now it's up to him on how far he wants to take himself in the game of basketball.
And Marcos actually still had a year of eligibility left with the CSB Blazers in the NCAA, but chose to forego it to have this opportunity to fully turn pro here in the MPBL. That's a miss for the Cagers. Cervantes brings it up para sa Caloocan. Tayong Tong left wide open from downtown.
And the threes conversion had definitely improved here.
Third three-point shot of the game para sa Caloocan. Alano could not get to the pass. Masyado malakas galing kay Cuevas. Cervantes was looking at Magat inside, but it was disrupted by the Muntinlupa defense.
What really helps in extending that defense para sa Caloocan is you've got Magat, who's very athletic, can cover length of the floor, can move even if he's in the second line of that pressure. And then again, Real Cervantes too is very active and can run out on long passes. Oh, Paul Sanga could drive in.
Coming from the outside, being available for the pass inside. Paul Sanga gets the basket and one opportunity. Excellent baseline out of bounds play here para sa Caloocan Batang Kangkalu.
And Paul, I think the good thing is he's catching now a rhythm here in the second half after missing 4 or 5 attempts in the first quarter.
He's one of the most streakiest shooters here in the MPBL. Moralde drives left, met by the defense of Magat. Marcos launches from the outside. That's long.
Oh, wow.
Cervantes grabs the rebound.
Unmolested on that rebound. He just went up there and grabbed it.
Tayong Tong manages to still get to the cup and finish the deuce.
Pag tinignan mo itong guard rotation din ng Caloocan, ang lalim din no? Jeramel, Inigo, Joko, Irvin Palencia.
Paul Sanga hits it from the outside. Sanga now has been scoring para sa Caloocan Batang Kangkalu. Nice behind the back pass there galing kay Joko Tayongtong. Once again delivering an assist to Paul Sanga.
Yeah, he's 3 out of 8 so far in this game, but those 3 made shots here in the second really does him well.
All 8 points coming here in quarter number 2. The score now is 39-22. Caloocan has opened up a 17-point advantage. Real Cervantes against the Bulacan Cuyas was able to score 10 points on 4 out of 7 shooting. He was 2 out of 5 from downtown, including 3 rebounds plus a couple of assists. More on Real Cervantes coming from Ms. Gianna Llanes.
Yes, Javi and Coach Mike, itong si Real Cervantes has been playing in the MPBL for years now. At kwento niya, he can never get enough of this league because he's had some of the best game-winning shots of his career here. Ito rin ang binibigay niyang mensahe sa mga teammates niya to play without any pressure on yourself and to just enjoy. Now, throughout the years, how does Real keep himself fit? During his free time daw, he likes to work on the farm. Adding na pagka-retire daw niya, in the far future, handa na siya maging full-time farmer. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, G. Excellent report there. Well, you know, Real Cervantes, this is some sort of a homecoming para sa kanya as he did play for the Pampanga Lanterns in seasons past dito sa ating liga.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised at all that he wants to be going back to the farm and doing farmer stuff because, you know, prior to me meeting him, he was actually a good friend of my cousin in Legazpi, and you know, a lot of things that they do agriculturally there, I guess, is really influencing how he wants to end his career.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Muntinlupa able to get a 3-point basket galing kay Jasper Cuevas. 39-25. Tayongtong working the 2-man game on the right side with Jesse Sumoda, but that's broken up by Muntinlupa. Batak will go all the way, just missing on the slam. Boy, he had bad intentions there. Moralde floats it up, no good. The tap goes to Prince Casin.
Munting na tayong lumundag dito.
Bonsubre finds Sumoda inside, right-hand finish, no good. Another offensive rebound to Caloocan. Kalahat trying to will his way to those 2 points.
Well, even these guys that have come off the bench have been huge.
Look at this. Warlo Bata trying to put Prince Casin on a poster. Ang layo ng take-off,
Oh,
coach.
grabe. I mean, he was in the slam dunk contest, and I felt he did real good too in that competition.
For first-time participant, he did modestly.
Tsaka iba yung yung lundag no. Kita mo naman sa binti pala.
This free throw by Romel Calahat is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Tsaka bata pa ito, coach.
Oh, yeah.
Si Warlo Batak.
That's the thing.
Another one of those rare finds from the provinces of the Philippines that have come on to play here sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino.
And he's one of those young guns para dito sa Cagers that are actually eventually gonna mature as they go and play for this team. There you go.
Warlo Batak getting the 2 points inside, may not have been a dunk, but nevertheless still a basket para sa Muntinlupa. They're still down by 13. Tayong Tong try to get it inside to Bonsubre, who muffs it. Tayong Tong gets the offensive rebound. Could it hit on the reverse as well? Batak leads it in para kay Jasper Cuevas. Muntinlupa on a mini run here.
Yeah, and complete team effort right there by Muntinlupa. Arenal getting the rebound, Batang getting it on the open floor and finding a streaking Cuevas on the left side for that finish in transition.
Muntinlupa continues to try and run out these Caloocan Batang Kankalu players. They might just have a chance to get back into this game. They're down by 11. 3 minutes and 38 remaining in our first half. Jasper Cuevas trying to keep these Cagers afloat in this game, leading the way with 9 points on 4 out of 4 shooting. He has not yet missed in this game. That's a couple of rebounds. Cuevas, who has been a staple in the starting lineup para sa Muntinlupa Cagers this season, came off the bench for the last game of Muntinlupa this afternoon. Off the timeout, the Cagers forced the miss on the Batang Kankalu. Gabe Capasso, his first attempt. Goes up in the air. Casin gets the rebound. Bonsubre running the floor. Left-hand finish. Trickles in para kay Junjun Bonsubre.
And don't you just love a big man that can run the floor and finish strong? And Bonsubre, without a doubt, is one of those guys that can do that.
Capasso hands it off to Warlo Batak. Makoy Marcos looking inside to Arenal. That's good defense by Jun Bonsubre.
Nakitang-kita mo yung experience ni Jun Bonsubre at that time.
Check out our fast break of the game brought to you by SportsMax, powered by PlayMax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max.
Tsaka nilaro yung both sides of the floor ang dalawang sunod na possession. Layup on one end and then defense on the post-up.
Batak takes it from the outside. Too strong. Offensive rebound. A rare one for Muntinlupa. Capasso thought twice in the air. That results in a turnover. Calahat leaking out. Getting the easy 2 points.
Transition defense has been a challenge for the Cagers because, they got to go in there trying to get offensive rebounds against the bigger and heftier Caloocan team. And so if they get that ball, it's just open floor the other way.
Caloocan in this game trying to give Muntinlupa a dose of their own medicine somehow by outrunning them, getting easy baskets like this tulad ng kay Romel Calahat.
Yeah, 11 fast break points so far para dito sa Caloocan versus that of only 5 for Muntinlupa. You'd like to think na dapat Muntinlupa ang meron dun no?
Caloocan has certainly picked up the pace with the takeover of Coach Toto Dojillo here at Caloocan. Arenal trying to carve out some space against Bonsubre. Batak offensive rebound for Muntinlupa and the point-blank shot. Under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter. 44-31 is the score. Tayong Tong directing traffic. Forwards a pass to Casin. Cross court they go to Kalahat. Steps behind the three-point line. That's short. Moralde looks up. No numbers for Muntinlupa. Ramirez will take it anyway. In and out para kay Joshua Ramirez. That could have been big.
Oh yeah, that had a good line too. So now you gotta get a stop here.
Casin takes it from
yeah.
the elbow. High looper of a shot is converted by Prince Casin.
Tried to challenge that shot, but really just good perimeter shooting by Casin.
15 na ulit ang lamang dito ng Caloocan. Marcos almost had a tough time bringing that ball across against Joko Tayong Tong. Arenal hands it off. Ramirez will try another one. Tayong Tong all the way to the cup. Caloocan now equals their biggest lead of the game at 17, 48-31. Dangerous pass. Still caught by Makoy Marcos. Marcos could not hit from the outside. Muntinlupa is just in shambles right now.
Right. And you kind of like not liking what you're seeing in terms of body language para dito sa Muntinlupa cage. Your shoulders are down. You know, guys not going down defensively. And, you know, just a little bit of frustration, I guess. But these are some of the things that these young players next season would have to not show anymore.
You hate to see them getting demoralized after constant misses from the field. And that has really hurt them in this game because that has caused a lot of fast break opportunities para sa Caloocan Batang Kangkalu.
Yeah, and I feel yung inexperience has really played a factor in this season for the Cagers. Meron mga games na they would lead until the third quarter, eventually lose in the fourth because they don't have a really good closer that they could rely on.
And in this game too, they're missing Alfred Flores. Who has been such a firecracker for them upon his entry dito sa Muntinlupa this season. Former ICC Blue Hawk, one of the leading scorers for the Cagers this season.
Which begs the question, well, will he play next season? Because who knows, he might be ending up with Bataan to join his coach in ICC and Coach Ogie Gumatay.
Prince Casin extending the lead of Caloocan to 20 points now. Last shot time for the Cagers. 6 seconds left. Batak taking his time here. It's the rush screen from Marcos. McCoy able to beat the buzzer from the outside.
Well, at least it's a good end to a half here. And you got to build on that. You're down 20. But the thing is, you got an entire second half to come back after this made three by McCoy.
A good two-man game between Batak and Marcos. Took a little bit of time before they were able to make a decision on what to do. But still, Marcos able to finish that possession in that quarter with a basket for Muntinlupa. That cuts the lead to just 17 as we end our first half of play. 51-34 is our halftime score, brought to you by GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX. Halftime between the Muntinlupa Cagers and the Caloocan Batang Kaloo. The score is 51-34. Batang Kaloo opening up a double-digit advantage after a slow start to the first quarter. Live na live pa rin ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipino dito sa Brenzigiao Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga. We are on neutral grounds for our MPBL Saturday triple header. Javi Palan is still joined by Coach Mike Perez. Coach Mike, it has been a Caloocan ball game in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is because of the made three-pointers, which really opened up the lane for the other big guys to try and control. 43%, so much better than the 20-something% earlier in the first quarter. But the rebounds, you see that disparity right there. 29 rebounds and 13 of them all offensive. And the turnovers that Caloocan forced on Muntinlupa, just too much for Muntinlupa to try and recover, which brings them to a 20-point deficit at the half.
And also one stat, Coach, I would like to highlight as well is the fast break scoring para dito sa Caloocan Batang Kaloo. They have already amassed 15 fast break points. They scored 18 in their last game, so they're 3 points shy from matching that total, and we still have 2 quarters to play. Muntinlupa is led by Jasper Cuevas in this game, coming off the bench to score 9 points. Batak and Marcos with 7. On the other side, Paul Sanga leads the way for Caloocan with 9 points. Tayong Tong off the bench with 8. Cabanag with 6. Cervantes with 5 off the bench as well.
You know, what's one thing that's even impressive for Caloocan, and maybe something that the Cagers could work on, is that 9 players actually had at least 1 offensive rebound. You can't afford to do that. Multiple guys getting to the offensive glass and securing them.
Once again, Caloocan goes down to Gabby Espinas. Tumatambay lang siya dun sa may dunker spot. Cuevas left wide open, leaves that one short. Bongay almost baby that shot, but still able to get the 2 points.
And yun yung mga situation na kailangang i-take advantage nila. Good offensive, good rebounds inside, easy spots, gotta make them.
Valencia dancing with Dave Moralde, could not finish the play. Espinas trying to body up the defense there. He lost the rock. Moralde all the way to the cup. That's vintage Dave Moralde.
Now, this is more like Cagers basketball right here. Very deliberate, you know, up close, getting shots made, starting on the defensive end. Now, question is, will you be able to sustain it? That's what we're going to find out in the entire second half.
Moralde did not play in the last game for Muntinlupa. This afternoon, he has come on to go back into this roster to try and provide a fitting finish to this Muntinlupa season. This is their last game of the year. Errol Bongay trying to get Muntinlupa closer. They're down by just 13 now. 7-0 run para dito sa Cagers.
And so enough of that dropped shoulder. Everybody's got their head held high and really trying to compete against this Caloocan team.
Espinas going back to the right side. That's a foul against Bongay.
Yun, yung sa particular galaw na yun ni Gab, you knew he was setting up that drop step the other way. He kept trying to dig going middle, and seeing the baseline side open, you do expect there was going to be a drop step.
That's already number 4 on Errol Bongay, by the way. He has had his hands full and trying to contend with the experienced bigs of the Caloocan Batang Kaloo. Espinas slowly but surely getting his points in this game. So far, 7 points, 4 rebounds for the former NCAA rookie MVP.
Well, you have 2 guys that can actually contend against Gabi Espinas, Larry Matiases, and Ronnie Matiases in Caloocan. You have Bongay and Arenal, but there's still that 3rd guy in Lloyd Cabegin, who can actually compete as well underneath. Naturally a perimeter guy, pero he's going to also do things on the posts.
That's his first appearance in this game. Let's see how Cabegin can impact the game para sa Muntinlupa. Shot clock winding down for the Cagers. Moralde steps back, no shot available. Cuevas will take it, hand in the face, forces it short. Valencia will let that sail out of bounds.
And that time around, apart from the shot clock going down, you know, had to hoist it up on under pressure para dito kay Cuevas.
Matias defended by Cabegin. Hands it off to Cabanag. Cabanag hops inside, floats it up. That's a walk against Jeremer Cabanag.
I think they're going to challenge this.
Assistant Coach Peter Santamaria is trying to tell the referees na he landed on both feet naman. Ito si Jeremer Cabanag, but our officials saying otherwise. Di na rin challenge ng Caloocan yung last call na yun. Marcos from downtown, that's a miss. Espinas secures possession para sa Caloocan. Cabana gets the screen from Matias. Matias leaves it for Espinas.
Yeah. And I feel Matias really created enough space for that role to be a very clear path. And he just saw that other defender come in and had to give it up for Gab.
Moralde short on the three-point shot. Caloocan on the run. Palencia bounce pass to Flores. Blocked there by Lester Tamayo, but he's called for that foul. Check out this play of the game brought to you by Suzuki. Two-man game between Cabanag and Matias, resulting in this pass to Gabby Espinas down low.
And sinasabi nga ng mga coaches, convergence creates confusion. Right there, that two-man game created confusion. Who was going to cover the roller and who was going to cover the ball handler?
Are now about to witness our first challenge of this game. Coach Vincent Harder will be utilizing this one to try and nullify the foul on Lester Tamayo. We'll take a short break.
Upon review, the challenge was successful. There was no
Successful
foul,
challenge for Coach
resulting
Vincent
to a
Harder
jump ball.
and the Muntinlupa Cagers. So the foul against Lester Tamayo will be voided. This was the last play. Clean block upstairs, only got the hand.
Yeah, it was very quick to signal na kailangan natin ng challenge.
That could have extended the Caloocan lead to 19. Maybe have a chance to go to 20 if he made that basket. Cuevas on the right side against Ronnie Matias, settles for the outside jumper. Tamayo getting a rare offensive rebound para sa Muntinlupa. However, upon the save, Moralde pushed off against, I believe, Josh Flores.
Yeah, and prior to that foul, Dave was actually a little bit frustrated. He thought he had a mismatch underneath against Ervin Palencia, and Cuevas just didn't see him prior to Cuevas actually hoisting that three.
Cabanag, top of the circle three, off to the left. Moralde gets the rebound. Marcos. Right hand layup is good, plus the foul.
And when we were talking about earlier about McCoy Marcos being, headed to that pro-ready gameplay, that's what we were talking about, Getting into a situation where he had to create, had to cushion the contact, and still able to finish.
The former swimmer has really developed his arsenal this season. Let's now go to Miss Gianna Llanes.
All 14 players of Muntinlupa present today expressed to their management daw na gusto pa rin nila maglaro para sa Cagers next season. Dahil despite the inexperience of some of the younger players, they really feel like their bosses and coaches really invested in them. However, if there's anything they learned daw about the level of play this season, in their words, if your team doesn't have a dominant big guy, you'll have a hard time. Kaya after this game daw, Muntinlupa will already take action in looking for stretch forwards and a good striker for next season. Tumitingin na daw sila sa mga listahan ng graduating collegiate players as well as free agents in the PBA and MPBL in order to add that veteran mentorship. Back to you guys.
It's going to be very interesting next season. I'm sure Muntinlupa once reached the finals of our first season when they went up against Batangas City would very much want to go back to that old glory.
Right. And lalo na, if you look at the North Division, I mean, almost each of the teams in the top 8 actually have either a dominant big man or a stretch 4.
Oh, nice pass there by Makoy Marcos, finding Lloyd Cabegin on the left side. Muntinlupa has cut this lead to 12.
And St. Lloyd Cabegin, as he's called in Muntinlupa, one of the really, promising big men in that area. And a lot of the kids out there really look up to him, especially at the way he plays on the post and the way he knocks down shots from the perimeter. So you see this drive here by McCoy. He drew that defense. So Lloyd on the other end, Jeremy bit, and Lloyd really just finished it off.
You could see really the development of McCoy Marcos. Now leading fast breaks, initiating the offense para sa Muntinlupa. In fact, there have been some games where he was actually tasked to play the point guard position para dito sa Muntinlupa.
Correct. And, contrasting yung atake niya kanina. Kanina, finish. Now, had to dish off to Lloyd. And so, he will continue to mature as he gets more exposed to games here in the MPBL. Oh, wow, what a
Sets
pass.
up Cabegin again, and short jumper is converted by St. Lloyd.
Ayun sinasabi ko. Perimeter jump shots, really good for St. Lloyd. He's really deadly from that feed in.
While Sanga and Achinigo are back in the game. Sanga had that one challenged by Warlo Batak. A little slow to get to the rebound there was Cabegin. Tamayo sees Cabegin again. The fake. One more extra dribble. Cabegin again willing his way through that basket.
And those 6 quick points, he has, really been that guy that's forced a little bit itong momentum shift going to the side of the Cagers. And the bench, including Coach Vincent, is very happy right now with how these guys are performing.
But quickly they give up a basket underneath to Gabby Espinas, courtesy of the pass galing kay Achi Inigo. Under 4 minutes to play, 61-49. Familiar set here for the Cagers. Marcos pops out from down screen. Leaves it para kay Lester Tamayo, who loses it before he even goes up.
And that's just a tough cover for Lester to be going inside against Gab and Ronnie.
Arenal will check back in para sa Muntinlupa, while Marian Magat and Real Cervantes will do the same for the Batang Caloocan.
So far, si Lloyd ang pinakamagandang plus-minus ngayon dito sa Cagers. He's a +3 so far in this game.
Unfortunately, he could not deny the passing entry into Marian Magat, which forces him to give up the foul there. Muntinlupa now in the penalty with still 3 minutes and 22 to go here in the third quarter. Our free throw story is 18 out of 25 now para sa Muntinlupa, Caloocan rather, while Muntinlupa only shooting 4 out of 10 from the charity stripe.
And the offensive rebound continues to be led by Caloocan. They're +5 in that department, 14 against 9.
Lead back up to 14 here. Marcos. Cabanag fell down on the floor.
I thought he was going to attack middle.
At Inigo picks up the turnover. No looks inside to Magat. That's too easy para kay Marian Magat.
Warlo Batak tried to help down low, but really just too much of a reach para kay Magat.
Counter run here by the Batang Caloocan. Just as Muntinlupa was able to trim the lead down to just 10 points from a high of 20. Cervantes forward to his former college teammate in Paul Sanga. Tried to lob it to Marian Magat for a possible alley-oop slam. But still, he gets the 2 points nonetheless.
Trying to get into the highlight reel.
Minsan lang naman kasi magkaroon ng ganung opportunity si Paul Sanga.
Oo naman. Madalas sila Irvin yung nag-a-assist no?
Cuevas goes to Marcos. Hands it off to Cabegin.
He can make that.
That one though is short. Batak is there to clean up the mess.
Pero nakita mo yung confidence ni Lloyd to, catch and shoot in that area. Kasi yun talaga ang kumpiyansa niya din sa mga spots na yun.
A quick trigger by Cabanag. He overshoots the mark there. Under 2 minutes to play here in quarter number 3. 67-51. Cabegin pops out on the right. Marcos gets it back. McCoy looks at the clock. It reads 6. Marcos, what will he do? Marcos gets blocked from behind. Unfortunately for Caloocan, Cabanag will be called for the personal foul.
Yeah, and they're gonna want to challenge this one.
Coach Toto Duhilio has used this challenge this afternoon, and there you go. The yellow light in front of Miguel Pere is now on, which signifies the challenge for the Batang Kankalu. A minute and 38 still to go in quarter number 3. This is ang lamang ng Batang Kankalu.
Upon review, the challenge was successful. There is no foul.
Successful challenge for Coach Toto Duhilio and the Batang Kankalu. Take a look at what happened there. Marcos drived inside and launched that finger roll just above the no charge zone. Cabanag was initially called for that foul, but clear from that replay that he got all basketball. Cagers keep possession. Cuevas with a second remaining on the shot clock could not hit from the outside.
Oh, wow.
Inigo, he has not made it from the outside this afternoon.
Walang kabantay-bantay yung tira na yun.
Cuevas back to Buenaflor. Waiting for something to happen here. A little slow to develop is the offense of the Cagers. Almost a steal for Caloocan. Magat says access denied.
Yeah, didn't have enough ball movement on that side of the floor. They were actually waiting for one action to happen. Pero, you gotta move it.
Clean swat upstairs by Marian Magat. Buenaflor, catch and turn. Couldn't make the shot. Cervantes forward to Sanga once again. That's disrupted by Kevin Buenaflor and Ryan Arenal.
Well, at least good transition defense on that side of the floor para dito sa Cagers.
Moralde will come back in. There you see assistant coach of Muntinlupa, Coach Jerry Andalion. Coach, I do believe that he's been working on a camp, which is coming up.
Yeah, and this camp he's starting to do here in the south in Muntinlupa. It's called Swish Connect, the basketball camp. That's happening every Sundays of October at Rizal Village in Alabang. So if you guys from down south want to attend that, you just look up the page of Swish Connect and you'll find all the details that you need to get into that camp with Coach Jerry Andaleon.
The lob to Paul Sanga from Real Cervantes. That could have worked maybe a few years ago. Batak sees Cabegin wide open. Inigo to the corner. Sanga still able to get it from the outside. Paul Sanga, those were actually his first points of the second half.
Yep. And, another three-pointer made for Paul Sanga right there to end the half. At the quarter, rather.
Check out our highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration. Muntinlupa was able to get the lead down to 10 points, coach, but another counter by the Caloocan Batang Kankalu shifted order back to their side.
Right, and for the most part, sometime the mid of the third quarter when Lloyd Cabegin really came in and contributed, all his 8 points really coming from this quarter.
72-53 is the score at the end of 3. This is brought to you by GameX Sports, the official online basketball ending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX. Check out our fan of the game brought to you by Jinky Skin. One of the beautiful faces inside the Brenzigao Convention Center, our venue for your MPBL Saturday triple header. Gabby Espinas and the Caloocan Batang Kankalu trying to move up further in the team standings as they wind down their regular season. They're down to their last 3 games, including this one against the Muntinlupa Cagers, who are finishing their 6th season of the MPBL in this game against Caloocan. Quarter scoring on your screens. Muntinlupa able to keep its step with Caloocan in that third quarter, coach, but still giving up 21 points.
Yeah, and yung notable doon is that 8 of those 19 points really coming from Lloyd Cabegin. He's been, that solid guy in that third quarter for the Cagers.
Meanwhile, Paul Sanga has been catching fire here in this game. 2 straight 3-pointers, one to beat the buzzer earlier in the third. Tayong Tong shifting to the left and getting the finish.
Yeah, in the very few minutes that Joko has played, he's only played, 9 minutes so far, but he's been pretty solid, getting his 12 points, going 5 out of 7 from the field.
That's a very silent 12 points at that para kay Joko Tayong Tong. Arenal, a series of moves on the block. Everything but the shot against Marian Magat para kay RJ Arenal. And
controlling the rebounds really is, a factor that has led to this lead. And, you got to get those rock and be able to push them the other way.
Moralde was cutting on the left side of the basket. Arenal had a good intention, but the defense of Caloocan just right there to disrupt the play.
Ang bigat rin talaga ng mga tao sa ilalim ng Caloocan.
Look at that graceful finish right there para kay Joko Tayong Tong.
Veteranong gwardiya, kasabayan ni Alvin Alday dati sa QC naglaro.
That's correct. That was quite a squad that they had. Boy.
Yeah.
That also featured Hesed Gabo. Jay Collado was also part of that team.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Tonino Gonzaga as well. Moralde gets it to Errol Bongay, playing with 4 fouls here. Buenaflor, specialty of the house. Why not?
And Kevin Buenaflor is that second homegrown guy para dito sa Cagers, who has, you'd like to think he'd be better from outside because yun talaga, to your point, ang specialty of the house niya, tumira sa labas, sa 3-pointers.
Kalahat lost it to the Muntinlupa defense. Buenaflor tried to get it to Tamayo. Pass a little bit too ambitious there para sa Muntinlupa. Tayong Tong gets it to Kalahat. Bonsubre will take the 20-footer. It's no good. Bongay with the board. Both teams with misses on both sides. Batak sees Moralde, who was waiting for that pass for a while underneath.
Oo, tama ka doon. Yung left side corner na yan, halos dyan na nagkakamping si Dave Moralde, waiting for the ball to get to him. And finally, Batak able to locate him.
This is still a 20-point lead para sa Batang Caloocan. Jogi Laude out to Bonsubre, inside to Gabi Espinas. That's tapped out of bounds. It will stay with the Batang Caloocan. Coach Toto Trujillo will be taking a timeout here. Meanwhile, let's check out this play of the game brought to you by Suzuki. Batak locating Dave Moralde underneath.
It's, really just able to finish on that beautiful pass by Warlo Batak. One of the few times we've seen them run unmolested.
It's 25-11 in terms of fast break points. Caloocan leads this game by a huge margin, 20 points. Still 7 minutes to play in this game. Joko Tayongtong and the rest of the Caloocan Batang Caloocan enjoying a 20-point advantage here against the Muntinlupa Cagers. The first game of our Saturday triple header dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Welcome you back to the Brenzy Gal Convention Center here in San Fernando, Pampanga. And off the timeout, Gabi Espinas throws it away. I want to say hello to everybody watching on MPTV Channel 98 on Signal, Satellite Channel 53 on the Pilipinas Live app, as well as on our Facebook and YouTube channels. Javi Palani here together with Coach Mike Perez and Miss Gianna Lianes.
And so far, aside from the rebounding as the key drivers para dito sa lead na ito for Caloocan, it's really the points of turnovers. It's 25 staggering points of turnovers for Caloocan, out of the 16 turnovers that they forced on Muntinlupa.
Tamayo able to get the one-hander.
Takbo sa kabila.
Tayongtong wants to get it quickly into their front court, and he does, finishing with that floater.
And Joko really just making do with nobody, stopping that ball from the back.
That's been the problem all game long para sa Muntinlupa.
Right.
The inconsistencies on the defensive end have brought them into this deep hole, but Kevin Buenaflor is trying to get them out of it.
And in Muntinlupa, alam mo, Javier, I have a lot of stories from Muntinlupa, but there are actually two Kevins that's pretty known in Muntinlupa. The other one being Kevin Racal. And Kevin Buenaflor also has a name for himself, shooting from the outside.
Caloocan brings the lead back up to 20, 82-62. Approaching the halfway point of our last quarter. Bongay hands it off to Moralde. Dave turns the corner, able to draw the foul against his former high school and college teammate in Junjun Bonsubre.
Oh, parehong bidista yan.
Yes.
Pero ganda nitong setup ng 3.
That's our three-point shot of the game, brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Kamil Kalahat dialing it down from the outside. Moralde able to sink the first free throw. Moralde with 8 points in this game. Now 9 after that make. Makoy Marcos and Jasper Cuevas will come back in para sa Muntinlupa. Buenaflor and Moralde will sit.
And that's already double his season average of 4 points para dito kay Dave. But again, almost undersized in every position itong Muntinlupa Cagers, lalo na sa ilalim.
Not to mention the lack of firepower with the absence of Alfred Flores in this game.
Yung tumapos ng puntos no, sa offensive sets.
Nifty fake there by Tayongtong. Just couldn't get the shot to drop. There's still a chance here para sa Muntinlupa. They need to get points in a hurry. Bongay backing down. The veteran Gabby Espinas gets the hook shot to drop.
Yun, pumasok yun. Pero hindi ganun kadali yung tira na yun. Dahil kailangan makipagbungguan ka kay Gabby Espinas na hindi ganun kadali i-dislodge from where he is.
82-66. Espinas trying to get those 2 points back here against Bongay. Spins to the right. Short on the fall away. Ball ends up with Lester Tamayo. Muntinlupa on the run. They have numbers. Bata kicks it out. Cuevas could not get a shot to launch. Kalahat was there to close him out. Marcos, pass fake. Puts it up. Gets fouled. He'll take 2.
And I expect, hopefully by next season, that's one of the aspects of the game that Muntinlupa, I feel, could really work on. It's fast break points. They're not up there when it comes to that department. Actually, they're 27 on that, averaging only 11.2 points in the fast break per game. But considering yung guard firepower nila, kaya pang umangat, no? Kaya lang, yung rebounds kasi, ang hindi nila masecure yung defensive rebound, enough for them to get to the fast break opportunities.
This free throw by Makoy Marcos is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Marcos could not hit on the first free throw. 7 out of 14 now at the line for the Cagers after that split by the former CSB Blazer Makoy Marcos. The lead is 15. Cabanag rejects the Cervantes screen. Foul on the challenge by Makoy Marcos.
Well, Jeremy really had to take that shot. Well, first off, catch and shoot. Second, in order for him to start getting a little rhythm here.
That's going to be 3 free throws para kay Jeremy Cabanag. Cabanag currently with 7 points in this one. 2 for 2 para kay Jeremy Cabanag. 1 more free throw left. Cabanag was 0 out of 3 in their last game against... Cabanag was able to get 5 points only in their last game against Bulacan. He was 2 out of 9 from the field in that game.
At napaka-importante na mag-start na ng momentum to build up si Jeremy, especially heading into these last 3 games. You know, they're gonna get Bulacan, I think, in their next game. And then yung last nila would be San Juan. And so that's tough. If you want to close out and get to number 4, you have to win against those 2. But first, this game muna, you have to secure this.
No, Coach, Bulacan was their last game. Sarangani yung isang
Sarangani, right.
last game nila.
The other last game is Sarangani. And so, have to win those remaining games.
Bonsubre. He loves that spot on the floor. Short on the jumper. Cabanag taking his time here. Kalahat. Wala na namang nasa harap niya. No good. Cabanag coming from the outside to grab that offensive rebound, keeping possession here for the Batang Kankalu.
Well, much as you love the perimeter shooting and free throw shooting of Kalahat, sa 3 points major struggle siya. He only shoots 23% from there. But the good thing is he's got that confidence to take it when given the opportunity.
He's slowly progressing in that department, while Caloocan is slowly cruising to what could be another victory para sa kanila. 3 minutes and 3 seconds exactly the time remaining on our clock. Presenting our Suzuki muscular and sporty fan of the game, just like the Avenus, do more and achieve more with the muscular and sporty scooter from Suzuki, the Avenus. Oras na para magmotor. That was the PT of the Caloocan Batang Kankalu, who also served as Bacoor City Strikers PT last year. But of course, the Strikers are on leave of absence this season. take a look at the top scorers for the Caloocan Batang Kankalu. Espina, Sanga, and Tayong Tong combining for 41 points. 41 the 85 points of the Caloocan Batang Kankalu coming from those three players.
And what a combination of players to be scoring that much all together. Gab on the paint, Joko on the fast break, Paul on the three. So a multitude of ways that the Caloocan has actually hurt itong Cagers.
Tayong Tong able to see an opening, finishing the 2 points inside, padding the lead of the Batang Kankalu back to 20. Bongay will take it from the outside and make it.
He's showing us the range.
That's Errol Bongay's first three-pointer of the game. He's up to 11 sa ating laro. While Joko Tayong Tong continues to terrorize inside with those daredevil drives.
Monga is actually a 28% three-point shooter. He's number 3 already sa Muntinlupa on that percentage. So, ganun talaga kahirap pumunto sa tres para dito sa Cagers.
There's a pretty decent three-point shooter para sa Muntinlupa. Off the down screen, Joshua Ramirez able to hit from top of the circle.
Tama ka doon, ganda ng down screen na yun, and really just a catch and shoot situation.
We now enter the final 2 minutes of this one, brought to you by GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Ramirez getting back-to-back hits. That's 5 straight points para kay Joshua Ramirez. Muntinlupa still trying to exert effort in trying to possibly get a miracle in this game. They're down by 14. This could be the dagger. Cervantes, though, could not knock it down.
Quick run the other way.
Cuevas, though, will slow things up. They're going to run their set here. Cuevas still waiting for this play to develop. Bongay, jab step, jumper. That's short, and that could do it. Cabanag forward to Cervantes. That extends the lead to 16, 91 to 75. And Caloocan now looking like they're going to get win number 17. A second straight victory para sa kanila after that big win versus the Bulacan Cuyas in their last game. This will be a good cushion for them heading into their matchup against the number 1 team in the north, the San Juan Knights.
That's right. And they are still pretty much on track for that number 4 slot, trying to steal that away from Manila. So hindi pa kampante ang Manila right now. Greg Slaughter and the guys are actually going to have to finish off strong as well in their remaining games. I guess your last game Manila is also against Zamboanga, no? So that's going to be key game for Manila.
The excitement only gets better here in the 6th season of the MPBL. Cabanag gets it inside off the pass from Tayong Tong. What about Joko Tayong Tong in this game, Coach Mike? He's been doing it all.
Yeah, and the minutes, the very few ones that he's played, really just valuable contributions. Taking advantage of open floor, actually.
Cabanag intercepts the pass. Trying to drive against Marcos there. 21.3 seconds na lang natitira dito. And we're just waiting for the final score. Coach, in the next season, who do you think will be one of the players that Muntinlupa can retain to be a vital cog next year?
Well, I feel the guards would definitely be one of them. It's the bigs that actually need more, help coming from their recruitment next season. It's gonna be very interesting how they build up on that 5 spot and even the stretch 4 to which Coach Vincent Harder has mentioned earlier. Yun talaga yung kulang nila, no? With this much firepower on the guard spot, you gotta have, rebounders and paint protection as well.
Bongay, last try from the outside. Gets it to go. And the Caloocan Batang Kankalu, their veteran lineup, winning against the much younger Muntinlupa Cagers as Coach Vincent Harder and company round out their regular season dito sa pang-anim na taon ng MPBL.
Yeah, and so Caloocan still gets a crack at that number 4, especially as they finish off strong their last 2 games. Samantalang itong Muntinlupa, bids farewell to this season, and a season that's really been a challenge to them, and something that they got to build on next season.
So much great performers in this game, Coach, but our daily fantasy best player of the game is Paul Sanga.
Yeah, and one of the things that really kept that game close earlier, and matter of fact, may mga points pa nga na lumamang itong Muntinlupa Cagers, was when the threes were not falling. But when Paul Sanga started connecting, it really just opened up the game in favor for Caloocan.
Our best player of the game is brought to you by Daily Fantasy. Dito sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro. The score is 93-78 after the end of this game. This is brought to you by GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Our best player of the game, Paul Sanga, is at courtside with Miss Gianna Llanes.
Yes, congratulations to our best player of the game, Paul Sanga. He had 15 points, Paul. Kwento ni Coach Toto na ang gusto niya talaga i-implement sa inyo ay dapat hindi kayo maging kampante at full pressure palagi, lalo na sa depensa. Paano nakakatulong itong mindset na to?
Ano lang, syempre we're preparing sa playoffs. So yung mga kalaban namin, na yung remaining games namin, syempre kailangan sharp na kami para going to playoffs, ready ka rin kami.
Ito nga ang pangatlong laro ni Coach Toto bilang head coach. Pero sabi niya sa tatlong larong yon, medyo mas light ang mga nakalaban yung koponan. Pero ang next game nyo is against San Juan. So paano nyo naman paghahandaan yung larong yon?
Siyempre, nung una, yung mga kalaban namin, hindi namin tinitignan yung mga susunod namin. Kumbaga, 1 game at a time kami. So, coming to San Juan game, siguro, kailangan talaga, ang tawag dito, maayos na itatakbo ng team namin para at least prepared kami pagkalaban na sila.
Paul, I'm sure maraming proud na proud sa inyo. Sino ang gusto mong pasalamatan?
Una, nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord sa panalong binigay sa amin. Sa wife ko, si Chrysler, yung anak ko, si Zycler, yung family ko sa Cavite, yung family ko sa Taytay, si Judy Sanga, si Cody, si Sean, yung utol ko sa Dubai, si Pat Sanga, si baby niya na, si Nina, at yung Hamria boys sa Dubai, at sila Congressman Oka Malapitan, Mayor Alang Malapitan, Consi Enting Malapitan, Boss Epay, Boss Felix, Boss Dennis, Venom Sportswear, Yan Coolers, Stay Cool, High Top LPG. Maraming salamat, Boss Dennis Abella, sa inyong support. Shout out kay Father Roel na nasa Jerusalem. Thank you.
Thank you very much and congratulations to our best player of the game, Paul Sanga of the Caloocan Batang Kangkalu. Our best player of the game is brought to you by Daily Fantasy. Dito sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro. Back to you, Javi and Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, G. Congratulations once again to Paul Sanga and the Caloocan Batang Kangkalu for notching their 17th victory this season against 9 losses. This one against the Muntinlupa Cagers. That was our first game of our Saturday triple header. We have the Quezon Huskers and the Marikina Shoe Masters coming up next. For my partner, Coach Mike Perez, and our courtside reporter, Ms. Gianna Llanes, this has been Javi Palanya. Keep it locked in here on the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.